I'm Isabella Jackson, and I'm introducing my forthcoming book, Treaty Ports in Modern China, that is edited by myself and Robert Bickers. I've known Robert Bickers since 2002, when I began my undergraduate degree in history with him at Bristol. And I owe my interest in Chinese history to Robert Bickers. He taught a course that I took on the Boxer Rebellion, and really my whole interest stemmed from that. I then worked with him. He was my supervisor for my PhD. And this book came out of a conference we held in Bristol in 2011 on treaty ports in modern China, bringing together some really exciting researchers looking at treaty ports in quite new ways. And from there it was Robert's idea that this should become an edited volume, and we've been working on it since then. This is a growing field, treaty ports in modern China. I'll actually be reviewing a new book that's coming out with the University of Hong Kong Press for China Quarterly on China's Foreign Places by Robert Neild. But he's taking quite a different approach. It's a monograph trying to survey treaty ports as a whole. And another book that's maybe a bit more comparable to ours is Goodman and Goodman's book 20th Century Colonialism in China, which came out with Routledge a few years ago. And that's really an excellent volume, and we hope that ours will complement it, but looking at treaty ports from quite different facets. So we'll be looking at law, land and power, as the subheading suggests, looking at individuals that sometimes have been overlooked in understanding treaty ports. So that's hopefully what's different about our volume. To sum up the book in one sentence, it's a collection of archivally driven essays written by authors about treaty ports in modern China, focusing on issues like law, land, power and authority, and knowledge acquisition, and what that can tell us about the development of these important sites of colonialism in China. I think this book will be appealing to scholars and students in a variety of fields. Obviously Chinese history, but also imperial history. These were the main sites of colonialism in China. Urban history, because in China the treaty ports were towns and cities up and down the China coast. So there should be quite a broad audience for it. Sino-Western relations are obviously crucially important, and increasingly so. So understanding this history is vital, and imperialism is very much a live issue in China at the moment. So I hope that our book can help inform the public debate about China and its relationship with the West. I trained originally as a historian, and then with the interest in China I went to learn Chinese, first of all at Oxford, and then Beijing and Taiwan. I returned to Bristol to study for my PhD, and worked for a year at Oxford. Since then I've been a lecturer at the University of Aberdeen, and now I'm at Trinity College Dublin. So I am a historian first and foremost, and bring that to my study of China. After this book's published, I'm hoping that my monograph should be coming out fairly soon after that, Governing Shanghai, Transnational Colonialism in China's Global City. And that's an exploration of the international settlement at Shanghai and the council that run it, the Shanghai Municipal Council, looking at this peculiar form of colonialism that functioned in Shanghai, where the British, although they were dominant, they had to cooperate with the Americans, the Germans, and the Japanese, and ultimately Chinese people were also involved in the council. So my book really explores precisely how that worked, and how it affected and shaped the city. So that's my next big project. I've also got a couple of other things in the pipeline. I was presenting today about an opium war diary that I found in Aberdeen, and I'll be writing an article about that. Routledge have been great to publish with. I met Peter Soden at a Back's conference a few years ago, and he was very friendly and positive. They've been supportive at every stage, and also seem to be very good at marketing.